Hey folks, welcome to this Xbox Life episode 519, all digital, just like this show. My name is Rob. I'm your host for today, also known as Presar on Xbox Live. And this is the show about Xbox gaming, anything else that we want to talk about. Heck, we might even talk about, I don't know, gutters or, nah, we probably won't. We'll stick to mostly gaming, if not all gaming. But the show streams Sunday evenings, approximately 11 p.m. Eastern. You can find us on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. In addition, you can also find us on your friendly neighborhood podcast streaming service, whatever it is. And you can also listen to the show on our website as well. And then one more quick thing here. The show's not affiliated with Microsoft or the Xbox in any way. It's a show by fans, for fans of the Microsoft Xbox. The views and opinions expressed on the show do not reflect those of Microsoft. So it looks like it's going to be a fairly short show. Not a whole lot happened this past week, just a couple of things. So we'll talk about those here in a little bit. And as far as what I've been playing, you know it, Fortnite saved the world. A lot of Fortnite saved the world. So as I had mentioned last week, there was a whole hero rework that they did, and it really kind of, well, it was sort of a refresh. It was like a refreshing of the system, and it's cool to have something different. But, you know, when you're used to certain things being a certain way, and that's how you play your game, change isn't always nice. You don't always like it too much. So I'm just trying to make the best of things with the new loadout, because my heroes don't appear to be as powerful as they did prior. So I'm continually changing it up a little bit. And then just as a recap, what they did is instead of having like 3 heroes, where one is your main one, and then you get 2 like bonuses from these 2 additional heroes. Now what they do is you play as a particular hero, and then there's a team perk that you can choose, and then you can have up to 5 heroes that you add in to give you very specific perks. So, you know, some of these heroes you have to unlock, and, you know, the ones that have really good perks, you have to unlock them. You might not have them already. And it's a different experience. Definitely. So just played a whole bunch of that. Had a conference at work, so I was gone pretty much most of the week. And when I say I played Fortnite Save the World, that was only probably, well, who am I kidding? It's probably about 10 hours across like 2 or 3 days. But yeah, I looked up to see how much I had actually played a Fortnite Save the World over the past year and a half, and it was crazy. I'll have to look it up again, because I'm not exactly sure of what that number was, but I'll see if I can look it up for next week's show, because it was surprising, in the hundreds. But anyway, just a couple quick things here to announce. I did want to mention that we still have 1 slot open on this Xbox Life Toon Blast group, clan, I forgot what they're called. And we are just annihilating this tournament. I mean, it's just crazy. So if you're into that game, you haven't joined already, you might want to join us. And yeah, join us on there. And then also Star Trek Fleet Command. We've got a setup on there. Justice Clan, I'll have to see what Mark set up on his side. And then also there is the Clash Royale Justice Clan that we've got a bunch of the listeners in. So that's about it with that. All right. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, you can go to thisxboxlife.com/Patreon, or just go to Patreon directly and search for us. Thanks to everybody who is a current patron of this Xbox Life. It's a great way to support the show. It helps us defray some of the server costs and hosting costs and all that. And Unfortunately, that stuff is not free. So anything that you'd like to send our way is greatly appreciated. And thank you once again. Also, if you'd like to send us a tip, you can do that at thisxboxlife.com/donate. And also, if you are a Twitch Prime member, don't forget to go in there, and then you can also subscribe with your one free per month subscription. Subscribe to this Xbox Life on, on Twitch. And then, as usual, we stream on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. So subscribe to us on those as well to be notified when there's new shows. All right, only a couple of things this time. This might be one of the shortest shows ever, but we often say that, and it actually doesn't happen. But I think it will this time. Crackdown 2 is now backwards compatible, which is pretty cool because now we've got Crackdown 2, and Crackdown 3 available for your gaming pleasure. And looks like this was given to us on Friday, was it March 8th? Friday, March 8th. They released it to the masses, and it appears to be a free game, and it's only a 3.39 gig download, which is pretty small comparatively. I mean, that's not even the size of one disc, because they aren't like DVDs, something like 4.47 or 4.5 gigs, somewhere along those lines. But anyway, Crackdown 2 came out around 2007, so was that about 12 years ago, and now you can play it. So let's see. Does not appear to have any graphics enhancements that accompanied the original Crackdown's release last month, but hey, it's more Crackdown goodness. Then this thing was pretty cool. This is a little announcement for folks that there's a new custom Xbox that's available. It's part of a contest, and it's a Captain Marvel Xbox, and this thing looks pretty sweet. It's got a controller that's got the Captain Marvel treatment on it, and then of course the console itself. I mean, it looks amazing. You do not want to put anything on top of this thing to hide the artwork on it, and it looks pretty cool. So the way that you can enter this contest is through Twitter. So hopefully you have a Twitter account, and it was posted by the official Xbox Twitter account. And it's one of those where you have to go and you have to retweet the tweet. So if you're interested in possibly trying to win the Xbox One X that has the Captain Marvel flavor to it, check out the Twitter account. And it looks like it ends on March 28th. So that is, when is that? That is a Thursday. Looks like you got about 2.5 weeks to do this. So it's a pretty sweet system. And it's a shame that it's a contest thing and you can't buy it because it looks really, really good. Then Realm Royale. This is one of those battle royale games that, it didn't really quite make the huge splash that some of the other battle royale games have made. This one over here is from the developers of Paladins, if you remember that game. So they renamed it Realm Royale instead of whatever the original title was. The name escapes me. But one thing that they've done is that they've added, they don't call it cross-play, but they call it cross-progression. So if you play this game, and I know there's some folks that really enjoy this one, and if you play it, you can now do cross-progression between PC and Xbox One. This is not, unfortunately, for PlayStation or Switch folks. So basically what that means is that if you link your accounts to a high-res account, that's the folks that are doing it. If you link it to the high-res account, like your, Xbox Live account and so forth, if you link it, then it's going to merge all of the accounts, and as you level up and so forth, it'll be available on the other system. So if you're playing on Xbox and go to PC, you'll be current on PC and vice versa. The one caveat that they've shown is if you unlink your accounts, the one that you remove will then be wiped to like a brand new blank level 1 account, which I guess is to be expected. So if you're into the game, this is a cool new feature. And I guess if you can actually peel yourself away from Fortnite, PUBG, and all those, then you can play that. Alrighty, and then the last thing I wanted to talk about was the big news that kind of hit this week was that, we've been talking about it a long time, about an Xbox One S all digital edition. And it looks like we have sort of street date. This past week, Windows Central reported that the project, which we've known up until now as Maverick, might be in stores as soon as May. So that's like 2 months away, if that really happens. So chances are they're probably going to try to get this out, just prior or approximately right around the time of E3, because that is in mid-June-ish, something like that. And then, this is the Xbox One S that's all digital, does not have a disc drive, so no Blu-ray drive, so you can't watch Blu-ray movies, which is probably fine for most folks, because I think just about everybody really streams just about everything, Netflix or whatever service you're using. So it's going to be a cost-reduced system from what we've heard so far and what we would basically expect, right? So if it doesn't have the hardware in there, you can physically make the box smaller, probably. There's less cost because you don't have the cost of the drive. You don't have the cost of the licensing, which I would imagine isn't, chump change. I could have sworn that we talked about it prior. It was something like $7 per console, just, to pay the Blu-ray cost for the licensing, in addition to the drive itself. And there's been some speculation, which would be pretty cool, is basically to have a sub $200 Xbox. So if you get rid of the drive and all the baggage associated with it, you can cost reduce it, make it smaller, which might be easier to cool. I don't know, which would have a smaller footprint and all. Then, you can make a pretty cheap Xbox. Now, what's this going to do for sales? Well, I would think that it would get the Xbox in a lot of homes that are very price conscious. And this is really for like brand new gamers, I think. It's probably going to be easier for folks to get a second or third Xbox as well. And, it's that Microsoft is definitely going in an interesting direction over here. They've been a pioneer, right? They've been a pioneer in such things like the, Game Pass, the games with gold, what they've been doing with that. And now here's another trend that they're starting over here. So going discless. Well, I guess the Switch is discless as well. Oh, no, it has cartridges. So never mind on that one. But yeah, so this is going to be pretty interesting. And then the question that's on everybody's mind as well about this is what's going to happen with the retail discs. There's been some talk of having a trade-in service, which I think is nice to have. So basically you can have, if you buy your retail disc, or if you have an old retail disc, you can trade it in. I've heard some talk about this being, let's say, at a Microsoft store or certain retailers. So you trade it in, they do something with that, and then it gets loaded into your Xbox Live account, into your inventory of the games that you have ready to be installed. So this is very cool. I've got a couple of discs that are just laying around that I would love to not have to track anymore and have to insert them into the console, because I think right now everybody's pretty much just at the point of where they want to play a game, they just choose it and play. We don't do that so much where we have to eject the disc, put the disc in, and I was terrible with the 360, just terrible. Where on the 360, I would go in, pull the disc out, put the disc down, not in its case, then they get scratched, they get all dusty, and I won't be sad to see discs go. And this is also a good thing as well for Microsoft, because it gets rid of discs in the secondary marketplace, right? So if you trade that disc in, then it's gone. I would imagine they'd probably recycle it, do something, and that disc cannot be resold. So more copies for Microsoft, right? More licensing and all that good stuff. And we'll see if this really takes off. We'll see what this does to GameStop and the like that pilfer everybody's wallets when you trade in your 5-month-old game for $10 or $5. We'll see what this does to them. But the one thing that I would like to see, though, especially if this enables people to have multiple Xboxes because they're cheaper, right? I really would like to see a better system for sharing gold amongst different Xboxes, because the home Xbox right now is nice, but it really limits you in terms of, like, if you have 3 consoles, you kind of have a problem with those. It would be nice if you could just have like 3 home Xboxes or something like that. I don't know if maybe they do something where they have to be in the same subnet or hidden behind the same IP if it's natted. I don't know. I'm sure they can figure out multiple ways to do that. But I don't know. We'll see. So very cool news. Looks like the system's coming just a couple months away. And I'm sure we'll hear more about this stuff at E3. All right, so that was really about it. A couple quick announcements. If you'd like to leave a voicemail for the show that I can play in the show, go to thesxboxlife.com, click on the send voicemail widget on the right-hand side of the screen, or you can also send an MP3 to contact@thisxboxlife. The voicemail widget is limited to 90 seconds, so talk fast or send multiple voicemails or the MP3. Also, you can find us on Twitter at thisxboxlife.com/Twitter. And we have a Facebook group. thisxboxlife.com/Facebook is the quick way to get there. It's a closed group, so you have to ask to be a member of the group, answer 2 easy questions, and then you'll be granted access fairly soon. We're pretty good about letting folks in. So it's a closed group, which basically means that we try to keep the spammers out, and then also any posts in there are seen only by members within the group. So it's kind of just isolated in the group there. Retail releases for this week coming right up.
Okay, Rob, what you got for us today? What you got for us to play? Give us a list of games that we can buy and play. Okay, Rob.
Alrighty, retail releases for the week of March 12th through the 15th. We have the highly anticipated, long-awaited Tom Clancy's The Division 2 Gold and Ultimate editions on March 12th. This is Xbox One X Enhanced. If you've got the standard edition, you have to wait until Friday, March 15th. So if you got the regular version, March 15th. Otherwise, you'll get it a couple days earlier. What is that, on Tuesday? So Tuesday or Friday. But both are this week. Ghost of a Tale 1.0 on the 12th. Rico on the 13th. One Piece World Seeker also on the 15th. March 15th also has Blood Waves and Sephirothic Stories. I think I might have said that correctly. And again, on the 15th, we have the standard edition for the Division 2. So those are this week's retail releases. Just a short list there with one big title. Games with Gold did a little switcheroo a while back. So we're about halfway through the 2-week length for some of these games. So on Xbox One, we have for the month of March, Adventure Time Pirates of the Enchiridion, I don't know. It's good enough. And then also we have Super Bomberman R. This is the title that's going to be cycling out on Friday, March 15th. For Xbox 360 and backwards compatibility, we have Star Wars Republic Commando. This is March 1st through the 15th. And then as per usual, if you make any purchases on Amazon, please use our affiliate link. That's a great way to support the show. Use it each and every time you make your purchases on the Amazon store. You can find the affiliate link on our webpage. Just click the Amazon link. It'll take you to either the UK or the US store landing page. Once you click through the link, you can search for anything. It does not have to be Xbox related. We get a tiny little finder's fee for sending you their way, but it does not cost you anything extra. So that's a great way to support the show. Also, if you're an iTunes user, find the show on there. Give us a 5-star rating. The more ratings that we get, the more we get bumped up in the rankings over there. Helps more folks find out about the show when they search for gaming podcasts. Then also follow us on Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube. And thanks to Learned Your Lesson for the music. So that's about it for episode, 519? I believe that was the number. Yep. That's about it for episode 519. Thanks again for joining me this week. And catch you all next week. My name is Rob, also known as Presar.